Okay, so we're going to be starting in Module 2, Equations in One Variable. We're going to start with writing and interpreting equations. So, in Module 1, we did some translating of sentences. The next part of what we're going to be doing deals with equations. And what's the difference? Oops, I meant to be doing that. There we go. What's the difference between equations and expressions? An equation has an equal sign. So a mathematical statement that consists of two expressions and an equal sign is called an equation. Okay? So writing equations, identifying each unknown and assign a variable to it. Define the givens and their relationships, and then you write a sentence as an equation. Okay, so let's go through that. So number 1, it says write an equation for the sentence. It says 20 minus the quotient of 7 and x is the same as twice x. So the very first thing I'm going to look at is right here. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Is the same as. Automatically, the same as is the equal sign. So this right here is going to be one expression on this side. Oops. I didn't go all the way over. And then this right here is going to be the other side of the equal sign. So 20 minus, so we've got the 20 minus here. The quotient of 7 and x we've got right here. And then equals, because that's the same as. So that's right there. And then twice x. Twice always means 2 times. So if I'm going to write the equation, I write 20 minus 7 over x equals 2x. Now it's not asking you to solve it. All it wanted you to do was translate it. So here, 4 times the number is, try that again. 4 times the number less 7 is equal to 16. Okay, so this right here tells me my equal sign. So I'm going to put the equal sign here. It says 4 times the number, 4x. Less, so that's minus. This is 10 equal to 16. So which one looks like that? This one right here looks like that. Okay, let's go here. It says of 799 teens surveyed, so this is our total amount, right? You were given that much. Surveyed about what they do online. Some use social network. Some use a social network. Of those on social network, 430 say people their age are mostly kind online, and the remaining 193 do not. Write an equation to find the number of teens surveyed who are not on social network. Okay, so what things do we know? We know that the total amount of kids is 799. Okay? We know that 430 are on social network. Social network is 430. Okay? Oh, that's not, of the amount that are on social network, okay? These say not kind, try that again. These are mostly kind. And it says 193 not kind. But we're missing. What are we missing? We're missing those that are not on a social network. Okay? So let's look over here. Identify each unknown and assign a variable to it. So what's the unknown? The unknown is how many kids are not in the social network. So let n equal the number of teens surveyed who are not on a social network. Identify the givens. So we already did that. 799 teens surveyed. Some number of teens use social network. Blank of those social, so their age are mostly kind. That's 430. And the others do not. So 193. The 430 and 193 make up the kids that are on social network. The rest of the 799 surveyed are not on social network. So, the sum of the teens on social network and those that are not on social network is 799. Okay? Sum means I'm going to be adding. What are the two things that I'm adding? I'm adding this right here, those that are on social network. So I had 430 and I had 193. And then those that are not on social network, that would be n. Is another way to say equals. And the total amount is 799. Okay, E2 has read 12 of the 32 chapters in his assigned book. He plans to finish the book by reading C chapters each for 8 days until the book is due. Which equation best represents the situation? So, the number of chapters read plus not read equals the total amount. Well, does it say how many chapters have been read? No. So let C equal the number of chapters not read. So 12 plus that's a weird looking 8. Now, this right here, we're not sure about, but we know it comes out to 32. Okay, so he plans on to finish the book by reading C chapters each for 8 days. So, is it going to be 8 times C? Well, if he's reading one chapter times 8 days, would that get me what I'm looking for? So if he read if he read one chapter for 8 days, and I multiplied that by the number of chapters, would that be what I'm looking for? Okay, so you have to think about it. You have to look at that. Is that what it's looking for? Or would it be 8 or C divided by 8? Which one do you think that it's going to be? Okay. It would actually be the 8C, because if I have 1 day, then it would be 1 times 8. So if I read 8, for each 8 days I read 1 chapter, that would be a total of 8 chapters. If I had read 2 chapters each day, I would take the 8 and multiply it by 2. That would get 16. So this right here, we already know for sure that we have 8 days of reading. So C is going to be our answer. This one, translate the sentence into a formula. Perimeter of a rectangle is twice the sum of the length and the width. What do we know? Sorry, identify the unknowns. The perimeter, the length, and the width is what we don't know. So then we're going to assign variables. Let P equal perimeter, L equal length, and W equal width. Twice means 2 times. Twice the sum means that, ouch, that you add first, because sum, and then you multiply. So the formula is perimeter equals 2 times the sum of length times width. Okay. The horsepower of a motor is the product of the motor speed and the torque divided by 5,252. Okay, so this is horsepower. Is this right here. Product, that means we're going to multiply the motor speed and the torque. So motor speed and torque. And then we're going to divide that by 5,252. Well, which one looks like that? This one right here. Because remember that dividing can also be written as dividing by 5,252. Okay, so plain and cinnamon raisin bagels are the most popular flavors. Each year, 24 million, more than twice as many packages of plain bagels are sold as cinnamon raisin. There were 136 million packages of plain bagels sold last year. Create an equation that can be used to find the number of millions of packages of cinnamon raisin bagels. Okay? So this word right here means more than, means that we're going to be adding. Okay? And when you're doing this, when it says more than, we're going to do this. Twice plain. Okay? Plus no. Oh, before I do that, sorry. Cinnamon plus plain equals total. I have to make sure I read this sentence correctly because I think I'm reading it incorrectly. So I have to make sure I read it. So it says twice as many packages of plain are sold as cinnamon raisin. So twice cinnamon raisin plus plain is going to get us our total. Okay? So it told us right here that we're going to have 24 million. So 2C plus 24 million is going to get 136 million. Okay, so look for the relationship in an equation by interpreting each part of the expression. Okay, as you interpret the equation that represents a real-life situation, consider the equation may be viewed as a constraint in the situation. A constraint is a condition that the solution must satisfy. So if we're talking about the length of something, that means that I'm not going to have negative numbers. If I'm talking about the weight of something, we're not going to have negative numbers. So you have to be careful with the constraints. So let's look at this. Write a sentence for the equation. Okay? Twice z minus 1 is 5. Or I could have said 1 less than twice z is 5. Okay, write an equation for this. So this one right here, I'm going to do letter A. It says 6 times the number z minus 15 equals 45. Oh, that'll work. Then this one says 6 times the quantity of the number z minus 15 equals 45. Is that the same thing? Nope. Then this one says 6 times the difference z minus 15 equals 45. Nope. 6 plus z minus 15 equals 45. Nope. So none of those work. So this next one. Y plus 3 squared equals 25. Is that the same thing? No. Y squared plus 3 equals 25. Is that the same thing? No. The quantity y plus 3 squared equals 25. Yes, that works. Y plus 3 equals 25. No. Write a sentence for the equation. Okay? So we're taking 3 and we're multiplying it by this quantity. Okay? The parentheses tell us that 3 times that expression. So we can use the word quantity. So 3 times the quantity . 3 times the quantity y plus 1 is 12. Okay? So let's look here. 7 times the sum. Oh yeah. Could I have put, instead of just quantity, could I have used the word sum here? Yes. 7 times the sum p plus 23 is the same as 102. Is that the same thing? Sure is. This one. 7 times p plus 23 equals 102. Nope. 7 times the quantity p plus 23 equals 102. Yes, that works. The quantity 7 times P plus 23. Now, 7 times the sum P plus 23 is equal to 102. Yeah. Aren't those two exactly the same? Yeah. Okay. So now we're going to come down here. And we have to remember how to do some of our geometry. Write the sentence for the formula for the surface area of the rectangular prism. So surface area equals 2LW plus 2LH plus 2WH. Then interpret the equation. Okay? So L is length, W is width, and H is height. So twice the length and width plus twice the width and height. The first term, 2LW, is 2 times the area of what? LW. Do you know what LW is? That's a rectangle. And the prism above, the area of the bottom face, this area right here, is LW. The top has the same shape, so it has the same area. This term represents the sum of the two areas. So this part right here is LW. This down here is LW. So if I add those two together, I get 2LW because there are 2 LWs. Same thing happens right here. 2LH is the front. So if I erase this, come on, erase. And I talked about the front, and the back. Okay? That's LH. And then the third one, WH, is talking about here and here. So it gets all of the sides. So the surface area of the rectangle of a prism, I'm going to write twice the length and width plus 2 times the length times height plus twice the width and height. Okay. So I'm taking P and I'm multiplying it by a quantity. Then I'm subtracting. The formula for a loan balance is the balance equals P times the quantity 1 plus R over 12 minus D. And the previous balance is P, the annual interest is R, and the payment of D is made. Okay, the balance equals. Balance equals, balance equals. They all have balance equals. The previous balance, that's P, multiplied by the quantity 1 plus the annual interest divided by 12 minus D. Okay. Now, I always need a little more clarification on this because I always make sure that mine says something here, like close the parenthesis, but this does get our answer. So that is A. Select the sentence that is correct interpretation of the equation. The expression R over 12 represents the monthly rate. Well, what was R? R is the annual rate. Annual means that there are 12 months, so R divided by 12 would be monthly, so that would work. The expression previous balance times this right here represents the previous balance plus interest. Nope, it's not plus interest. Oh, did they mean to write? Okay. This can be right if you distribute this. If you were to distribute this, then it would be correct. If no payment is made, D equals 0 and the balance is the same. No. The expression this right here represents the monthly interest rate. No. If no payment is made, then D equals 0. The balance is plus interest. Yes.